Good evening, welcome. I remember this is the one with the lights. Can we give a shout out and a thank you to our servers and our kitchen staff for tonight? Thank you. California has a history of strong investments in early childhood education. In fact, over 75 years. California was the only state to continue child care after World War II. Over 50 years ago, in 1965, California continued that by adding the California State Preschool Program, which is the largest and oldest state-funded preschool program in the nation. Now, yes, thank you. And in recent years, we're seeing federal attention paid to early childhood education. As we all know, in November of 2014, the Child Care and Development Block Grant was reauthorized at the federal level. This has renewed our focus on quality for children. And it's also an opportunity for states to reassess their early learning system and take a look at how they provide these services to their children. Also exciting is what has happened in December of 2015. Let me get this right. It has several names. We call it ESSA. It is the Elementary and Secondary Student Act, and it's also now been renamed the Every Student Succeeds Act. And this is the reauthorization of the K-12 at the federal level. This is very exciting for California because in it we see the flexibility being given back to the states, and that's something that California has been asking from the federal government and the way that California likes to do things. We call it the California way. It's nice to see that recognition now at the federal level with this new reauthorization. But what is even more exciting for us is that for the first time, early education and preschool are mentioned in the Education and Secondary Act at the federal level. This is no small thing. And it's not just mentioned in there with the preschool development grants, which is in there, but when you read the act, early education and preschool are sprinkled throughout. Under almost every title and every section, it talks about the importance of early education. Last month, I was lucky enough to spend some time talking with Libby Doggett. She is with the U.S. Department of Education. She was so proud of this accomplishment. She said that they worked really hard to make sure that early ed was part of this act, and that's something that we all know is important to us as well. So this really helps open the conversation around early education and our K-12 friends and partners. This really sends that strong message. The governor has helped open this door for us as well this year with his budget proposal. ECE having conversations with K-12 and LEAs is an important part of the process. It's something that we need to do, and we know that we need to do that because we want to see greater alignment. We truly want a P through third integration. We want what's best for our students. We know where they come from, and we know where they're going. And the closer that we work together, the better outcomes it will be for children and families. CDE is very engaged in the budget process, and we will continue to advocate for quality, access, and investments. We also want to thank the legislature and the governor for their recent investments in early education. The past several years, we have seen an increase in access and investments, and we are going to continue to advocate for more. We also have had the infant toddler and the California State Preschool QRIS, Quality Rating Improvement System, block grants. These are very important new investments that have been made to our early learning system. These grants have been a huge driver at the local level for expanding QIRS statewide. QIRS started in California with the Race to the Top Early Learning Challenge grant. That grant is ending at the federal level for us in June of 2016. The CDE and First 5 California have worked strongly together on this grant. We are at a tipping point for this grant, a very exciting tipping point, I like to say. We are transitioning from a race to the top QIRS to a California QIRS. Every county now is involved in QIRS in some way. This is very exciting. This is a statewide system that is locally driven. It's hard to explain how unique and different this is. So many other states have a very top-down approach, or they just have something that's kind of sprinkled around. But we now have a statewide system with local flexibility and local control and local input. And so we are really excited that, again, we're working closely with First 5 on how do we bridge this as we're losing the federal dollars and moving into a California system. It's important that we're leveraging and working together and having those conversations. And I'm thrilled to be part of that work and those conversations. And I know many of you are involved with that locally. And if you're not, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, locally, you need to go and find out who is our where is this QIRS? Where does it live? How do we get involved? How do we find out about it? Because it's very exciting, important work for California. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Advancement Project. It's so important for us to come together and have these conversations. This is such a great opportunity to bring all these different people together. I look forward to it every year. There's always something exciting to talk about. And a big part of that are the wonderful speakers and researchers that they bring to us so that we can all stay on top of what's happening. And that's real important. And I know how hard all of you work every day in the work that you do for children and families. And so I'm sure you, like me, really appreciate a time to come together with some good food and good conversation and good speakers and really take some time to reflect on how far we've come, and we're always pushing for that next step of where we need to go. So thank you all for everything you do, and enjoy your evening.